Everyone, we have a special treat for you. It's the World of Esports Championship. It's one of our final matches of the day. We got Steve here to our right-hand side, and he's just pummeling the hell out of Sub-Zero, played by Richard. I don't think Kano is actually his strong suit, as he's down very low on HP, and these high kicks are seeming to do some serious work, but of course, go for the crotch, hit that groin right in the tit, takes him down, and my man here, Dick Masterson, also known as Richard, takes a victory. Now, how does it feel to qualify into the World of Esports Championship? No, you gotta talk to my boobs, because that's where the mic is. Come here.
You're still...
Come here, talk. How's it feel?
I'm literally gonna strangle you right now.
He's gonna strangle me. Hopefully not before the show starts, because we have to kick off, as I'm Jason Kaplan, the World of Esports. So this week on the show, luckily I am going to be super happy because we don't have just CS or just Dota. We have some other games, and we're going to be starting off with some Mortal Kombat 11, the newest addition to the title of the Mortal Kombat series, and we'll be looking at the future esports plans and tournaments throughout the year for that game. We'll also be looking at DreamHack Masters in Dallas and taking a look at the teams and the tournaments that'll be participating there, giving you guys an idea of what you should be paying attention and what you should be looking for as that tournament kicks off. We also have a player profile on Nisha. We didn't get to sit down and talk with him, but we had our creepy, stalkerish-esque, let's talk to other people about him and look at him kind of video so you guys can learn more about him. And we're looking at Rainbow Six as well, how it started and how it became an esport today. And almost every week, we have our running series, we like to call this or that, and luckily we got to sit down with FaZe Clan from CS. So let's kick off this episode of World of Esports. So you got some Kano, some Johnny Cage, Raiden, Liu Kang, Scorpion, Sub-Zero, and Sonya. There's only a couple more characters that I can personally name over my career of playing Mortal Kombat when I was younger, but this is definitely one of the first games in the very first edition Mortal Kombat that most people played when growing up. Now with Mortal Kombat 11 coming out, there's new characters, new arenas, new fatalities, new unlockables, plethora of things to look into. And not to mention some esports plans. So for all you esports fanatics, watch this little video as we take a look at the new game, and more importantly about their esports plans throughout the year.
Mortal Kombat 11 has hit the shelves, and with it, another edition of one of the goriest fighting games has seen the light of day. So buckle up, this one is definitely not for the kids. Mortal Kombat 11 takes place in a rather confusing timeline for those not in the know. Following the events of Mortal Kombat X, Raiden, the protector of the Earthrealm, has become a more sinister version of himself. Liu Kang and Kung Lao have turned into evil lords of the Netherrealm, and a mysterious figure, Kronika, pops up ready to rewrite history. Yep, you heard that right. There is a character who wants to completely rewrite the Mortal Kombat timeline, mostly because Raiden needs to have never existed apparently, and things get pretty confusing when past and present characters clash. But we're not here to talk about the story. No sir, we're all about the action and esports, and Mortal Kombat 11 has plenty. Fatalities are still as brutal as ever, but last-ditch fatal blows are arguably just as violent.
What the?
But you're probably wondering how to become the ultimate champion of Mortal Kombat 11. Well, for starters, 2019 will be a big year for Mortal Kombat, as May through December 2019 will see players compete for the top 16 spots in the world. The first stop of the season kicks off at Combo Breaker on May 24th, with plenty more coming in the near future. These qualifier winners will then be pitted against regional champions at the $250,000 Final Combat Tournament in March 2020. And a winner will be crowned the champion of Mortal Kombat 11. So if you think you have what it takes, now's the time to get practicing.
So when it comes to the world of CS, there's so many tournaments going on. I'll try to name a few. You got Blast, you got ESL, you got DreamHack, you got Star Ladder, you got all the other tournaments in between as well. But it's now DreamHack's turn in Dallas as they kick off DreamHack Masters with some of the best teams in the world all participating for that lion's share of the prize pool. So let's take a look at the teams participating and of course people you should keep your eyes on.
DreamHack Masters Dallas 2019 will be the third stop for the second season of the Intel Grand Slam. Katowice and Sydney proved that this year's favorites are up for the challenge, but can they keep up? Or perhaps there's someone else who could potentially join the fight. Well, let's find out. Team Liquid are looking pretty strong right now after securing their spot in the Pro League Finals in Montpellier. The guys from North America proceeded to finally break their second-place curse during the Intel Extreme Masters in Sydney. And with a confidence boost like this, combined with raw skill, good tactical performances, and of course, playing on their home turf, Team Liquid are surely able to lift the trophy in Dallas and get ahead of Astralis. Especially when Dupree and his crew also won't be present in Texas. But Team Liquid won't be the only American organization competing at home. Yup, we're talking about FaZe Clan. Even though their CSGO roster is currently composed only of European players, the Los Angeles-based organization definitely has a lot to prove in Dallas. After a great run during Stage 1 of the ESL Pro League Season 9, in Sydney, FaZe faced a lot of problems, including their players not being able to play, which led to their painful elimination during the group stage.
And that is a flawless start to Greyhound CT side.
But the team hasn't been stagnating and have recently made a really big announcement. Adren's place will be filled by Neo, a legendary Virtus Pro player who will take on the role of FaZe's in-game leader. And even though his debut versus his old team wasn't a walk in the park, many believe that this might be a recipe for success.
Completely counters it, as we saw that the first kill went that way. After that, Snatchy just hit the flows and there it is, set up the ace.
Another team that's definitely hungry for a win is Fnatic. Not so great during the major in Katowice, the Swedish roster has since improved quite a lot and really showed their power in Australia. After a dramatic quarterfinal against their fellow countrymen from Ninjas in Pajamas, they afterwards took down NRG Esports and were only stopped by Team Liquid in the grand final after an intense 3-2 battle.
Tries to bait out the defuse, Nitro peaks, confirms that he's not on him, and Elise holds his nerve. It's championship point.
Looks like Fnatic are back on track and want to reclaim their glory. And their coach, Jumpy, also seems pretty confident about their performance during the second season of the Intel Grand Slam.
Do you guys feel like you have what it takes to go all the way and grab 4 titles in the span of the next 10 tournaments?
How do you do what you do?
If we keep improving, so yes.
And since we're in the north, time for a trip to Finland. 1 year ago, ENCE Esports was basically what you would call a meme team, serving as a punching bag for most of their opponents. However, after Alu returned to the team back in March 2018, he totally redesigned almost everything, turning ENCE into a true powerhouse.
Instantaneously toppling body, and now there's just no smoke for the cover here.
In just a year, the Finns climbed from the bottom to the very top of the CSGO mountain. And if you don't consider this a huge progress, just look at this graph. One of the best moments in the team's history was probably IEM Katowice, where few thought that ENCE would even qualify for the main event. But ENCE Esports proved everyone wrong, and despite all odds, made it to the grand final.
Forces Dupree's hands, and now ENCE! They picked it apart!
And even though Astralis ultimately won the major, the Finnish roster surely won everyone's hearts, and also got their own song in the process.
Easy for ENCE, 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 ENCE,
So is ENCE able to score some points for the Intel Grand Slam? After their triumph over the Danes during the Blast Pro Series in Madrid, the answer might not be as certain as it would be just a few months ago.
Well, unfortunately, we couldn't get Nisha to sit down and have a chat with us. You know, you're showing your ass to the camera, right? All right, let's turn him around. No, he just wants to show his ass. So we couldn't get Nisha, but luckily Howie is an expert stalker, unfortunately, as all of his ex-girlfriends found out. And we got to ask other people about their thoughts about him, and of course give a little bit of a profile to the player. Real quickly though, before we head to the video, I just want to show you something over here. To actually get this on my shoulder, they had to put someone on a chair because everyone here is so short. Or maybe I'm just freakishly tall, but enjoy the video nonetheless. Wow, you really need deodorant. Enjoy the video nonetheless. Ugh. Oof.
This year, Team Secret has really showed everyone what they're made of. This international mix of talent, good leadership, and of course, dedication might be going for their best season yet. But what are they actually made of? The players obviously, but there's one that stands out from the others, and that player is Nisha. Michał Nisha Jankowski, a young Polish Dota 2 player, is probably most known for, well, not being anywhere. You won't find him on social media, and an interview is almost as hard to come by as a needle in a haystack. But despite being a walking mystery, the professional Dota 2 scene as well as many media outlets keep talking about him.
He is a little low.
Wait, kill him.
Oh! He knew that the trim was going to break on Nisha!
Oh,
wow!
This guy's
good.
This guy's good.
Oh my goodness, Nisha.
I don't know if you guys heard about this. He had this Smurf account. This is what I've heard. This is what I've read. I think it was named Devil. And it was a 9K, 8K, 9K Smurf account. Just with, I think, he had 400 games with like a really, really high win rate. Just 400 plus games, but 9K MMR? Seriously?
Nisha started his professional career when he was just 14 years old and played with his older brother, Supreme, in a team called Let's Do It. LDI had some success, including playing at the ESL One Frankfurt 2015 qualifiers, and were even acquired by Team Alternate. However, that adventure didn't last long, and soon Nisha parted ways with his brother and former teammates, seeking more glory on the international scene. And he didn't have to wait long for it. After playing for Team Singularity and then Team Kinguin, Nisha finally found his home in Team Secret, officially joining their roster on September 11th, 2018.
The kind of player he is and the kind of personality he is, I think this was the kind of pickup that was just such a win for Puppy and Team Secret, that it created this sort of dynamic for Team Secret that goes to show just how well they all work together. Like Yapsor is a very greedy 4, and Nisha's playstyle works so well with that.
Even though many questioned the decision, Puppy, Team Secret's captain, later admitted that he saw great potential in the young Pole and wanted to give him a chance. And you're probably aware now that he didn't let that chance go to waste. After joining Team Secret, Nisha helped his team win ESL One Hamburg 2018 and finished second during the Kuala Lumpur Major. But their biggest success together came in 2019, the Chongqing Major in China, ESL One Katowice 2019, and now the MDL Disneyland Paris Major.
Look at the last one left alive. Mantis pop. He's now been silenced. The lucky shot's there. Miracle's dead. They'll take the top rank. They'll take the game. They'll take the series.
Team Secret show no signs of stopping, and neither is Nisha, who despite his young age has already won 2 Dota 2 majors, and if everything goes well, could potentially also lift the trophy during the International, the most prestigious Dota 2 event of the year.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how Nisha performs in the big stage. TI is just a few months away, and Secret are looking to be the favorites, honestly, at winning it. It's just gonna further define Nisha's career as a professional, seeing how he will be playing at the biggest stage of Dota this year.
So we definitely should start out the news section talking about some League of Legends with the incredible performance coming from G2 Esports during the recently concluded mid-season invitational 2019. Now, Perks and his crew managed to climb all the way to the very top and then demolish Team Liquid 3-0 in the shortest series in history, with a third game lasting only about 18 minutes. Not only that, this year's MSI Grand Final was also the first one without an Asian team. Now, a Riot Games employee known as Verdolf announced last weekend that his company has made a decision to put the community event tool on pause for all of Europe. In his official statement posted on the League of Legends support page, Verdolf stated that the decisions were made as they believe that now is a good time to take a step back and review how it's being used by players and event organizers. But don't worry, your RP rewards will still be honored. It might not be strictly esports related, but you're probably aware that World of Warcraft has made a major announcement. That's why it's worth saying that Blizzard has finally announced the release date of the highly anticipated WoW Classic. The vanilla WoW experience will hit on live servers on August 27th with the beta test already in progress. Another transfer rumor has become reality as Dennis has officially joined Big. The 24, God, why do I keep saying Fear? It's an English show, not a German show. The 24-year-old player will replace Nex, who unfortunately had tried to step down from the active roster due to health problems. Now, Dennis will surely be a great addition as he has previously represented Sprout and throughout the pro career, 8 times managed to qualify for a major. Now, if I say Rainbow Six, I bet most of you out there have no idea that it started off with Tom Clancy making novels, then transitioned into a movie, and then transitioned into a game. Luckily for you, we have a nice little wait, hold on a second. I swear, if we had a map here, this would be the perfect hole to peek in. Now bear with me, I know this is a drill, but imagine it was a gun. Pew, pew, pew. It would work out quite well. But luckily for you, we have a nice little video to show you how Rainbow Six started and what it's evolved into in now esports. Oh my God, that sound. Pew.
Have you ever heard the name Tom Clancy? Who am I kidding? You probably have, but for the uninitiated, we'll be talking about his successful Rainbow Six franchise, and more specifically, Ubisoft's esports success, Siege.
2 big kills for Redeemer 3!
Rainbow Six is one of the longest running FPS titles on the market, and it all started a few decades ago, long before the first Rainbow Six video game was even released. Tom Clancy's first forays into mainstream entertainment date back to 1984, when the American novelist published his first military book, The Hunt for Red October. The novel was turned into a big motion picture in 1990, and 8 years later, Tom Clancy, an established military and espionage novelist at this point, turned towards video games, as he wrote the first Rainbow Six book to coincide with the first game's development in 1998. The first title became a success and was followed up by its successor, Rainbow Six Rogue Spear. Here, the franchise manifested itself as a premier tactical FPS title. Since then, 12 main titles have been released and 6 expansion packs to boot, with most receiving a moderate amount of commercial success. The latest game, Rainbow Six Siege, has garnered over 40 million players since its release in 2016, and it's the first game in the series to be multiplayer only. Siege is a team-based FPS with a handful of competitive modes. However, only one mode, Bomb, is used in official Pro League matches. In this mode, 2 teams of 5 players are pitted against each other. One team defends, the other attacks. The attacking side can win by defusing one of 2 bombs located somewhere on the map, or by eliminating all defending players. The defending side wins by eliminating all attackers, or destroying the diffuser placed by the attackers.
Can KS go for the clutch? A second time for KS?
Sounds a bit like CSGO, right? Like Counter-Strike, Rainbow Six has become a big esports title, and it's pretty hard to master. 2 months after releasing Rainbow Six Siege, Ubisoft announced the first Pro League circuit that was later divided into 2 leagues, Pro and Challenger. The Pro League gathers 8 teams and takes place in 4 regions: Europe, North America, Latin America, and Asia Pacific. One season is 6 months long, followed by the offline finals, where the 2 best teams of the 4 regions face off. In Rainbow Six Siege, the equivalent of the World Championship is the Six Invitational, the ultimate title to grab in the professional circuit. A number of large tournaments have since popped up, also called Majors, where the first of its kind took place in Paris in August 2018, with a prize pool of $350,000. And just last weekend, the 8 best teams in the world were at the Pro League Season 9 finals that took place in Milan. Let's see who lifted the trophy.
Really? I can't believe Thorn said that. Then again, it's Thorn, who knows? Anyways, heading over to our social media, our friend, our brother, our Papa Pasha Biceps has once again revealed what goes on behind the scenes and told us how he found out that Neo would be playing for FaZe. Saturday afternoon, Pepito fishing, that's something else, way worse, fisting would make no sense. Message from Neo, can you talk? Papa calling, sup my friend, I have offer from FaZe Clan. Biceps answered, do not look at me, my friend, it's your chance. I don't know why he went French there all of a sudden. Bring this, ladies, to the top, my son. By the way, kick someone soon. Easy strat. That was a really difficult tweet to read. So G2's never really shied away from memes, and we think this little music piece from them relates to the MSI 2019 group stage. But after the grand final, I guess it's even more true. After Astralis announced their new female roster, NIP has also decided to try something new and young and open up their very own academy. CTs or Ts, Opping or A-Kane, or I guess the appropriate question for this team is a Dren or Neo. We know which team or which player that actually worked out for a little bit more. It's FaZe Clan, and we got to sit down with them to do the segment we like to call That or This. Wait, this or that. Got it.
City side, because I'm a good guy. What about you?
I had this question before. I like to be a bad guy, so I will go with the T, but it's more action on T, so that's why.
Playing on your own?
Playing on my own with friends.
I mean, streaming is a lot of fun, but it's also like, you have to be so hyped about that, or try to be more hyped. You have to be talking to the viewers, and it's a lot more, I don't know how to describe it, but you get tired a lot easier because you have to be focused on so many different things at the same time, and at the same time you want to play really good because you want to entertain people watching. So 2 hours can feel like 7 hours playing normally. So I remember when I streamed, I felt like I streamed the whole day, and then I streamed for 2 or 3 hours or something. That's a hard one. I mean, it all depends on the situation. If I'm CT, I want to have USP. If I'm T, I want to have Glow. But probably USP, yeah. USP is the better gun.
For me, USP lately. I started hitting some shots with the USP, so that's why. But before it was P2K. So yeah, at the moment it's USP.
I mean, if you asked me a few years ago, I would probably say 1.6, but I've also tried to go back to play 1.6, and that game is in your memories is so much better than it actually is. I lost the feeling, but the feeling in game was better in CS 1.6, but how the game looked was just awful for people who didn't play it, basically. So I would probably pick Go today.
I played all 3 games on tournaments, so every single game had something special about it. So I think for me all the CS versions equally. I mean, every single game had something good.
Close game. Or I mean, if I win. Otherwise I'm picking easy win. But close games is so much more satisfying winning, and easy games it's not even fun because you win too easy. If it's not in a tournament, then I will pick easy wins. But it's much more satisfying winning a close game than easy.
Yeah, I agree with it. Close games are, you have to play your best, and above you have to play 120% sometimes to win the game. So it's more fun, I would say. I choose the A side. Yeah, it's much easier. Every single map.
I guess A side, yeah. I believe in Lali.
Because you have more players to play with.
I have Lali, that's why. I let him kill
I mean, Overpass, you have mostly 3 players. Train, you have 3 players on A. Dust, 3 players.
A is better, or not better, but
easier.
funnier.
Yeah.
LAN. Yeah, LAN. Every day. It's just a different feeling playing on LAN. You get more serious, and you also Like it's fair for everyone, basically.
Yeah, I agree with him, Lan.
It's more pressure.
I'm in the chair. You probably know what that means, or you should if you've been watching this show week in and week out. It's come to the conclusion of the World of Esports. Ha, got him. World of Esports here. Should I continue? Should we stop? Should we retake it? Oh, we're continuing. Okay, good. I faked out the cameraman. That's on me as I hit my microphone. But anyways, ESL 1 Birmingham is right around the corner. You guys should definitely check that out if you're a Dota 2 fan. But always tweet to us with the hashtag, I still don't know why I'm doing this, World of Esports. And let us know about any games, any tournaments, any players, any drama you want us to look into. And of course, make sure you subscribe and like the YouTube channel as well. And check out all of our other videos we have to offer here on the World of Esports. But anyways, I've been Jason Kaplan. Yeah, I have been. Thanks for watching, and well played.